Hi there, Paint Shop Pro users. Welcome to my site and welcome to this video tutorial. This is a video tutorial on restoring a photograph such as this, and probably we all have one of these hiding somewhere, and making it a lot better than it is. It's not going to be a complete makeover restoration because I only got 10 minutes and that would take a lot longer to do. So if you look around my site, you're going to see the exact same tutorial in Photoshop. But you're a Paint Shop Pro user, so you don't want to be looking at a Photoshop tutorial. That's like illegal or something. So I made this tutorial just for you and hope you enjoy it. It's a good one. Okay, so when I scanned this image, I scanned it as an RGB. And the reason I scanned it as an RGB rather than a black and white is I wanted access to the three channels that make up the red, green, and blue composite image. That is the red channel, the green, and the blue. To get those channels, to take a look at them, so that we can do the best with our channel mixer, what you do is this. Now, I know this sounds all very confusing, but just follow along. It'll become clear. So you go to the image menu, split channel, which you can't see, but now you can see this split to RGB. And what it does is it gives us these three images. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to make them smaller so we can look at them all together. Hang on. There we go. We've got the red channel here, which is very pasty and washed out. We've got the blue channel, which is much darker, but it's still very kind of flattish. And we've got the green channel, which is kind of between these two. So what we're going to do in the channel mixer, we're going to mix the red, the green, and the blue with the sliders according to how these things present themselves. Now, if I had to choose one, I'd take the blue channel just because you got some darkness. So maybe a mixture of the red and the blue would be best, or maybe all three. Let's just fiddle around with it and see what we come up with. So I'm going to pause again, get rid of these, and we'll go to channel mixer. Okay, I'm back. Okay, now there's our layers. What I'm going to do is get a new adjustment layer, channel mixer. And this is it. As you can see. Now we remember that the red really was nasty. So let's give this, say, 20%. And let's make the green, it was not very good either. So let's make it 10%. And you want these three, under most circumstances, to add up to be 100. So we'll give this one 70%. That just shows you I can add. Now, there's our image. It's still not very good, is it? Let's take out the green entirely. Make it 0. And let's make this one 80 and see what that does. Nah, you know, I think with this one, probably we're going to end up something like this, because they're all kind of nasty. And one's not better than the other. So that's where we're going to end up. 5, 5, and 90 makes 100%. Okay, so we'll accept that, and we'll look at it with awe and wonder. Now here is its original, and there it's after. So that's a better looking image now. I like that better. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to curves. One of those things that scares people. When I first started using curves, I was a curves peasant. I had no idea what to do with it. So this is where you find the curves adjustment layer right there. But I'm just going to move this out of the way. And there we go. New adjustment layer, curves. And we'll set it right on top here so we can see what we're doing. Now, the things you need to know about the curves dialog. This is your line. It's a 45-degree diagonal line all the time when you open up. Everything below this line makes the image darker. Everything above the image, or above the line, makes it lighter. You can put little points on the line right here. Right here. You can put them anywhere on the line. But it seems with my computer, if I put too many on, move them around, I hang up and I have to redo this whole video. So I'm going to be very careful right here. Now, what I want to do in this image, just back off a bit here, I want to boost up these highlights and darken down the shadows. And on this line, basically what you've got is from here up to around here are your shadow areas. So I've got a point in the shadow. From about here up to about here is your midtones. And from about here up to the top is your highlights. So what I want to do is I want to boost the highlights and lower the midtones. So let's try that, see what happens. Now I can use my pen. I'm using a Wacom pen, of course. And I can drag it up. Whoops, I made a boo-boo there. I can drag it up like that. See how that brightened it up? Just kind of sticking off the edge. And I can take this one here, highlight that, or I can use my keyboard arrow keys as well. See how it darkened that one down? So let's just say OK and look at it. That's our image now. That's a big difference, isn't it? Now let's go our curves here. This is without curves, and that's with curves. And if I double tap on the curves, you can see I only went like half of a box on each one. This one isn't even half, and it made a huge difference. So when you're using curves and something like this, it'll make a large difference for you. So that's how you would take a photograph that was like that ugly sepia thing and make it look like this, which is a lot better to look at. Now you can see the stain is really quite a nasty thing, and that's something that would be worked on at another point, not in this, because I only have like 4 minutes left, and it would take like 4 minutes just to get ready to remove that stain. But you know, you got some things over here we could fiddle with, and of course what you're going to do with them is you're going to use the clone stamp tool probably, and you know, just kind of get in there and right click and get rid of some of these nasty little marks. And I've got my brush set for opacity. The harder I press, the darker it gets. I've got my use all layers, so there you go. We're rocking here, and that's what you can do with these things. But the biggest change was made because of the curves and the channel mixer. So give it a try. I'm sure you've got something you can do with it. If you don't, just download a photo off my site here. This photo. It's not going to be very big, but you can download it and you can play with it. The other things we can do with it here, see this little person, I believe this is a little boy, we could actually select the white clothing this little boy's wearing, and we could run curves just on that selection. What do we got? We got 3 minutes. Maybe we'll try that. I'm going to pause. And okay, so there I've made a selection around this guy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another curves adjustment layer. And there it is. And what we're going to do, we can make the highlights brighter in that little selection. See that? Blew them right out. Or we can take it down just a smidge. A smidge is not much. Well, that's too much. So I'm going to use my arrow keys just to kind of go up a little tiny bit here and see if we can make it a bit better. See, when you get it down a bit, you get some texture in the clothing. And you can see really I'm so close to where I started from. Right there. But let's try that. Let's go with that and see how it looks. Okay, so now I'm going to select none. I'm going to go back to my original view. I'm going to bring the photograph over so you can see it. Okay, so we did this. Let's see how it looks without it. Whoops, wrong one. Curves 2, there it is. Turn it off, turn it on. See, just a tiny bit. And this is what my layer palettes look like now. Now I should probably give this a name, so I know what it is. But you can see from the from here that it's just that one little tiny thing. Channel mixer, and we could say image. So that's how you use curves and channel mixer together to do a great job of bringing something back. Now there's other things we can do. We just don't have enough time because I'm limited to 10 minutes, and I can babble on for a lot longer than 10 minutes. But hey, that's a pretty big improvement we've made there. So thanks for visiting my page. Thanks for visiting my site. And I hope you've got an image you can try this on, because you'll really enjoy it. It's a fun technique. And if you found this video on YouTube and you're wondering what I'm talking about, well, come and visit my site, www.the-graphics-tablet.com. And you'll find this tutorial under the Paint Shop Pro tab. So thanks again for watching. I do appreciate your time. You take care and have a great day. Bye.